What's up, YouTube fam? It's Dark Angel's Journey. So, it's Saturday, February 24th, and I've just concluded my first week of first 5 weeks of live trading. And it's nothing like what you predict, right? There's a serious emotional toll that it takes on you. And I'm finding that I need to make real um adjustments to what I'm doing. I mean, it's been for every one positive step that I've taken forward, I've taken maybe 5 or 10 disgustingly awful negative steps backwards. So, and I'm going to make some changes to how I go about things. So, I think weekly I'm going to do. Kitty just jumped off the couch. Weekly, I'm going to do back testing on the weekends to try and keep my focus on what my process is supposed to be. So this will be the first of those for 2024. I've not been super um, excited about videos, mostly focused on trying to work through my mental state as I've been trading. So I'm trying to get to boring. And right now I'm not anywhere close to boring, but I'm not giving up and I'm not stopping. I am relatively unhappy with the way I've been trading for the last 5 weeks. And so a big change has to occur. I know exactly what I need to do. And I'm just gonna start doing it and stop playing games with myself. Because as I've been journaling, I've realized a very disturbing trend. I go on tilt. What was it, on Thursday? I took a grand total of 23 trades in an hour. It was it was awful. And I've been struggling to stop doing that. Especially when I know it's gonna do something. And half the problem is like I want my stop to be so small, and that's also a problem. So I need to just, and the thing is that my process, it works. If I just wait, be patient, set my limit order, and don't try and just mark it in all the time, which is what I've been doing. So I'm gonna spend some time this morning just back testing my process. It's gonna be boring, it's gonna be methodical. And I'm literally, oh God, I think my cat's just going into his box. Oh, it's about to be really gross. Anyway, so I'm just gonna spend a bunch of time now trying to make myself, trying to go through the last like weeks training and just follow my process. So it's definitely not the best outcome so far, but it's also not the worst. And I think every loss is a training, you know. I'm still pulling bad habits from my paper trading account into the live account. And I need to be able to divorce those two things. So it's an interesting journey for sure. In any case, like I said, I'm not going to be showing any of my live account stuff because I really don't really understand the process of that, but I'm more going to be talking about the psychology and just running through my process. So let's get tiny. All right, so I didn't trade yesterday because I went on tilt on Friday. Let me see, should I move this to the bottom here? Well, top corner is fine. All right, so um I'm just gonna highlight this one window for now and we can back test. So I didn't do anything on Friday. So I'm just gonna back up on the day. let's do the replay button. When did Friday start? Okay, so my trading day starts at 10. So I want to, well, I start looking at stuff at 9:45. All right, so let's see, what did we have? I didn't do anything on Friday. And let's just write out what we're looking for, right? Okay. So one, where is midnight open? So in my mind, if the midnight open is at the, actually, Kitty wants attention. Let's see, can you guys, let me see, my chair might be in the way. And you guys haven't seen Kitty for a while. There's the kitty. Hey, buddy, want attention? Okay. Cutie. You know what? Let's have a quick moment of fun before we get super started. He probably just pooped. Little pooper. I'm just gonna hold him for like 2 seconds. Every time he poops, he wants like Ruku attention. So I just give it to him. He like runs around a lot and he just wants, you know, I don't know if the pooping requires like additional fun and attention for him, but yeah. Anyway. Oof, I think it was just pee. Gross. Yep. He peed, he did not poop. Which is good, because then I don't have to pause the video to go clean it. Because who could live with all the pooping? Smell. Gross. All right, so giving Kitty love. Let's get rid of all of the kitty hair, of which there is a lot. And let's get back to being tiny up here. And I guess I don't have to be that small, I suppose. I do get tiny. Let's make sure I'm not blocking anything I'm doing. All right, so the process is this, right? Let's go in here. So where's the midnight open? To wait for a 15-minute sweep. 3, wait for displacement. So FEG for the most part. Okay, that's the process. And enter. 5, stop below FEG or um, the low or whatever, or high, depending on if we're going. So in my mind, if the wherever the midnight open is, if we're well above it, well below it, if we're right on top of it, then that means I'm a little unsure as to where we're trying to go. Okay, so first things first, I think I made a new high. I missed all of that. So we had buy side here, I took it out. Let's see where our midnight opening price is. And oops, let me delete that because I got too far. All right, so where's midnight? Oh, it's right there. So we're right above midnight. So let's add that in here for backtesting purposes. So let's see what we could have done on Friday. It could also be used as a, okay, oh, we're on the 15th minute. All right, so we've swept the highs and it's been really bullish. I mean, look at that. So at this point, I'm going to be waiting for some kind of structure to form. Let's reset this. Okay, and then let's come over here. So what time is it? It is 9:40. Okay, so I'm going to drop down to 1 minute on this. And so we've broken over. It's 9:44, so we're just going to wait. And the one thing that I'm generally waiting for is, like I said, displacement, right? So we've taken this out. If we break this low right here, I'm willing to go short. So we haven't broken it, so we just gotta wait. Now we have. Now, the problem is there's no displacement except for this small, let's zoom right in. I know, I think I left my glasses downstairs. Let's zoom right in. This placement here. So what time is it? It's 9:49. So just gonna continue waiting because I don't have anything. And my other option as 10 o'clock approaches is to consider the silver bullet. See, my brain is already trying to, so if we're gonna disrespect this properly, like this leg right here, I think is a good spot for it to like really break down, but we haven't gone far enough. So if I'm going to go for any kind of entry here, it would have to be from up here. And because I'm finding that when I wait for my entry, and my stuff is set to an automatic 37 because the spread, the 2 tick spread, means that $200 stop is like 220. So I dropped it to 37. Most parts when I get that, it works. Anyway, so let's wait. Okay. So inside of this, we've got this SIBI and then a small one right here. So it's 950. So I'm just gonna wait. Okay. Now the potential for an entry here, and since that didn't quite stop there, this is the actual low it stopped at. So that. So what I'm finding is that a lot of times, since there's this fair value gap here and it dropped nicely, I want an entry above the halfway point of this leg, but I'm also wondering if maybe my ability to specify where my entry is kind of wrong, but I think it should be here. So let's see what happens. Maybe I would catch it. This tiny little fair value gap. Let's see what they do. And it's still not 10 o'clock yet, so let's wait. Okay, so they're coming back up again. That's a good reaction. And drop. All right, pausing. Okay, so you see how that just dropped? Because in my mind, I wanted to switch my entry to that fair value gap that formed here, right? At least the midpoint or even the top of this, right? Because in all of this price action, this is the first real fair value gap that formed after this shift. And, you know, with something going up so high, I mean, I felt like this would have been a good entry, but this is where I wanted an entry. And I was like, this is not really a great spot because there's been a lot of back and forth price action here already. It should be a pretty balanced space. Now, there's no guarantee. There's probably a fair value gap. Oh, hold on. Well, yeah, there I did mention this one, but this one right here, right here. Now, let me also add this new week opening gap thing in here for funsies just to see where it is. I'm going to set the color to black. Oh, so it's all the way down here. So this, in my mind, would be a great spot to aim for. That's a lot of ticks. Beautiful, right? Any case, so what I need to get comfortable with is when my entry is lower than where I want it to be, right? Now, I should remember this is a mitigation block, right? And they rolled into it. So I should have felt comfortable taking the entry at the mitigation block. Now, it's not quite 10 o'clock yet, so my other option is to wait for a potential entry. I don't know if they're going to come back or if they're just going to run. And it looks like they're just going to run. So any kind of reversal back up, let's see, it's 10 o'clock. So now my other option, if I don't like this one as much, is this order block here and an entry up here. But again, this is the entry that I would have preferred if my head was in the game. Anyway, now, given that we're so close to this, and now we're close to the midnight opening price, maybe, since it's 10 o'clock, I should be looking for another entry. So, in terms of sell side, from a 15-minute perspective, and sometimes it's good. So we have the sweep here. And the next real, no fair value gaps. I guess that would be here, and then here, and then the real goal would be all the way down here. I don't know if they're gonna go that far, but let's do that. Okay, but this is where I would have been entering if I'd managed to do it. Now, the one thing that I've noticed is that when they drop like that, they actually continue doing that. So the question becomes, in my mind now, does this SIBI become the, because now we've just hit 10 o'clock, does this SIBI become the silver bullet, right? Or does this one? And as I mentioned, these are the things that are going through my head as I'm trying to get this done, right? So my general desire would be an entry above here, up here, now that it's dropped. If it's gonna give me something, or if it gives me something to go back up. We're above the midnight opening, but I feel like they're gonna continue down. Let's continue. So it is silver bullet. Okay. So my general desire now is, let's see what it does. We just had a shift here, fair value gap, but it's been a very strong move downward. So it's not the biggest, most significant shift, but as I mentioned, I would like an entry up here, or at least right here to tap this. Or if I'm being super honest, I'd love for it to take this out and then drop. But given that we're up here and we've moved up, because I would have to be cautious now because this does not follow my process. This followed my process. I should have taken that. I don't even know how far that went. Let's see. 233, man, I'd be fine. I'd be out. Done. Anyway, so after all of this run up, we're finally getting a bit of a serious pullback. So let's see what it does when it gets in here. And maybe make sure that's good. Oh, I brought some coconut water that I need to stay hydrated. Oops, that's really loud. Sorry about that. Sorry, Jojo. And because I'm not feeling that great as well, so that'll help. Wish I brought a straw. It's cold. Anyway, so it's now 10:04, and this is what I'm looking for. So let's see. Now we have a bit of a shift right here. This one, that's lower, shift up, fair value gap. So in a bullish space, you would just buy right here, right? But I'm not feeling super bullish. I'm feeling very, very bearish, right? So that wouldn't have worked. At least I don't think it would have worked, right? Inside of fair value gap, I think it's very, very bearish. But let's see if right there, right? See if I take an entry there because of the shift going up, we have some potential for it to go back up. But I don't really trust it, and that's my problem. Now, at this point, let me flatten that out because I'm just trying to make a point, right? So at this point, my only real desire is for, is for this high that they're building to get taken out and then a drop. That's what I would like. but they're not going to do that. They're just going to go. And there she blows. And that's my problem. Like, I know that this might be the silver bullet. We've come up. I know it's going down. And, you know, I should have been comfortable buying it here. I should have been comfortable buying it there. But I wasn't. So, I should have been like, oh, well, we're already dropping. It should continue down. And I already said that, right? But my brain keeps changing it. It just keeps changing it. So if I had said to myself, okay, if we tap it one more time here, little to no drawdown, and, you know, and we were back at midnight opening now. What time is it? 10:24. Now, in this scenario, we swept this low and this low. We're at midnight opening and we're really close to here. I don't see a reason why they won't go down there, right? I really don't. And probably even past it. Who knows? So what if I'm being silly and I wait for this? Maybe not silly, but I still, I don't know, I still want them to take that out and then drop. But having seen this happen multiple times, let's do a sell, right? With the expectation that we sold at 7.9, our stops right above there. Let's say right there. All right. Okay. So that entry would have worked. And, if I'm being completely honest, like I would have aimed, given that it's already dropped so much, I would have taken that and been okay. I don't know if it was going to drop more, but I would have flattened right there. Done. And been done with it. All right, so let's recap here. Ultimate entry should have been here. Should have been comfortable with that. And with a target of here. That's 307 ticks. Now, once it started to move back up and made a short-term high here, and I could have moved because I would have basically secured probably about 80 ticks or so, just to have, what's that, 400? No, um, 20 ticks is 142. Yeah, so secure about 400 of that, and then see what's going to happen. Because in my mind, I probably would have just gone for 200 ticks, and I would have been done aiming for midnight open. And I'm just, like I said, the new week opening gap is a good draw. And I would have had to deal with all this. I would have liked this drop beautifully and then just secured and then waited. That's what it should have felt like. So let's back up. Let's back up a snitch. So original plan, right? For all of this drama. And this is more to reinforce things in my head, right? Let's go back to what we're trying to do. And I don't care if I spend like all my time on where are my notes? I don't care if I spend all my time on one day, because point is to reinforce what I'm supposed to be doing in my own head, right? That's the point. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm spending the time. And where'd it go? Yeah, come over here. I probably need to make this a little smaller for it to fit on the 1 minute. Oh, it's at a 20. I didn't even realize. Let's do 12. Okay. And let's get, so something I need to remind myself. And I think half my problem is that I'm not just working on this thing. I have to work on the TD Ameritrade, right? Okay, so after all of this, we have a nice shift. We fully disrespected that. It wasn't a wick, right? It wasn't a wick when it took it out. It was a full-bodied close, and I should have been comfortable, right? Next candle, because I'm looking between 9:45. So this occurred, yeah, between 9:45. So when I should be comfortable doing this, at least the midpoint, or at least that's a good point too. We're at the top of this thing. I should also be comfortable putting my order there, right? and then I'm risking 37 ticks. So I should be comfortable setting a limit order, and then when it pops back up, right there, I would sell. Bam. And then it's just a matter of because at this point, my stop at the very minimum, I would be in. I would. I have been this bad habit now is of watching the dollar values, and I have to get comfortable doing that because with TD I can't watch the ticks. I prefer the ticks. The ticks less make me feel less anxious, but the dollar value makes me feel super anxious, and I don't like it. And I think that's another reason why I'm having such a hard time. So I'm trying. I need to like work myself into seeing how much it is fluctuating and being okay with that. So currently, this is what I've been doing, right? Like as we've dropped. So if I'm being completely honest with you, because once I dropped over 1,000, I would have probably just been like, oh my God, this is amazing, and move my stopper right there. That's what I would be doing. And I would have been stopped out right there. Yeah, I would have been stopped out right there. What I need to be doing is doing that. We've got a beautiful drop. I mean, it's beautiful, 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 beautiful. I need to get comfortable. Let's move this. Let's center that right, or to the right. Let's move this way. So what I should be doing is after I've hit this beautiful thing, yes, my general idea is to secure about 800 to start, right? So we're about 800 for me is 160 ticks there. So what I should do is secure that, right? Make sure I have it. And then let's see if we can get down because I'm not in the business of giving away money, right? So that would have been stopped out. Yeah, 800 right there. So wait, where's 80 ticks? I think I said 400, didn't I? That was all the way up here. Oh, ha ha ha. So if I move my stop that way, secured that. If I'm being honest, $100, $1,000 in this go is more than enough for me. But I just want to get the feeling of like properly managing it, right? So with this big ass drop, we've got this fair value gap. My general desire would be, and this is all in hindsight, we've already seen that, is for them to stay at this fair value gap, right? So if I'm being honest, after I saw this drop right here, I probably would have done this. I would have done that. And then once I saw them coming back up like that, and like I said, I would have been stopped out right there. So what does ICT do? He keeps his stop all the way up here. He he leaves, he covers costs and stuff for the trade and then just lets it play out. And what bothers me is this dollar value fluctuation here. That drives me nuts. So here I am now. Okay, all right. Blah blah. Should still be going down. I mean, 1,200, that's more than I've ever made in a trade. I think my biggest trade has been 1170. And then my biggest cumulative loser was like 1,500, just blowing it all out, just being dumb. All right. So then once this high had been made, I probably personally would have put my stop right above it like that because my general desire is for it to. And then it tapped it one more time, and then we meandered down. And once it drops like that, I would just be like, "F you, I'm coming in right there. I'm on, and then I would have been stopped out there, just like 960 something. But again, shouldn't move it, should I? I should just stay right there and wait. Because guess what? All they're doing is returning up to fill in the fair value gap, something I need to be methodical. What are they doing? They're coming in to fill the fair value gap. 0.79 secondary entry drop. And then once you see that, at this point, I'm just managing, right? I'm trying to come all the way down here and then right there. and flatten. So all of that extra drama to net 1525 or approximately, when I could have had like 1200 here approximately, just to, deal with all of this back and forth. I mean, if I'm being honest, I would have just been trailing this. Once it hit over $1,000, I've just been trailing it behind it until it stopped. That's what I've been doing to like just lock it in. Anyway, so all of this to say is that I need to be more methodical about what I'm doing, and I'm not currently. Not because this is what I would have been looking for on Friday. I would have taken it, and then once it hit over $1,000, I would have trailed my stop down and taken that $1,000 and been happy. And guess what? I've been so happy. But eventually, I need to get to the point where I'm trading to get the full run. Half my problem, no joke, is because I have to trade one mini, right? If I was technically I can trade the micros, but as I mentioned, it's like 225 a trip. So about 688 round trip for one mini and one micro with TD, which means that if I want to trade the 10 micros that I wanted to, which means I would have taken 8 off here and let the 2 run down to there. But guess what? That's 22, almost $23 just to open up the 10 contracts. That's stupid. It's a lot of fees for not as much gain. So I'm forced to trade the one mini, which means that I'm going to lock in as much of the profits as I can because it's one mini. But when I get to the point where I can trade 2 comfortably, I would be taking one off and then letting the other one run. Taking one off, leaving the stop up here, taking one off here, and then leaving the stop up here and letting it run to here, and that would be beautiful. All right, so let's go down to the afternoon because I would be done at this point. Let's go up to 15 minutes. All right. I guess it does make its way down. Wow. 11 o'clock. Oh, well, I'm curious though, because after this big shift down, there's the ultimate thing. So sweep, shift, nothing, nothing, nothing until here. I guess it's coming back up. Anyway, I wouldn't have been taking that. I would have been happy with my first set of entries. But okay, so now we're rolling into 12:15, 12:45. So let's get to 1:45 when I would be most interested in seeing what's happening in the universe. So 1:45 here. Okay. All right. So making adjustments to, and if I'm being honest, with that first win, I wouldn't be getting into any more trades, but we're back testing, so it's all good. All right. So we're at midnight opening, and I don't. Oh, there's this other thing that I like. Is this it? Oh, it didn't add it. The high time frame power of 3. It just shows me what the daily candle looks like, which is kind of nice. I don't know if I would consider it to be distracting, but look at this price action. I assume that it's Friday, so there would be some retracement. And some of these Fridays, they just haven't followed that. So anyway, so just talking through and going through price action is making me feel better. Can you imagine? Mm. All right, so let's make some adjustments. Where's the lunchtime low? That's 12:30, and the lunchtime high is right there. So my general is right here, and when it comes to ranges, this is a 15-minute range for me. So like I said, I'd be done with that morning trade. That'd be it. Be done. All right. So the one thing I'm also doing is I'm specking out the halfway point. Hold on. Looks like the 0.5 is missing in the fibby. Oh, it is. Their colors are red. Am I blind? Oh, yes, I am blind. Okay, so right now we are at 0.5 of the range. All right, and let's see, let's check that. And let's so 0.5 of 15-minute range. So I'm just gonna call this template. Oh, wait, I don't want it to be that. I want it to be a line. Save as 0.5. Get that. Save. Yes. Okay. All right. So right now we're at the halfway point. So it's a pretty shitty place to try and get in for an entry. So one or two things needs to happen for me. And now that I know what that looks like, I'll just hide that for the moment. So one or two things need to happen right now. Since we're at the halfway point, we're at the new week opening gap, we're at basically midnight opening price. If we're going to continue down, I'd like to see a sweep and then displacement down. So let's see. Or a sweep and displacement up. It doesn't really matter to me which one. Okay. So now it's this crappy price action when we had semi-cleaner action. This is beautiful. Oh, just for funsies, how far up did they come after they dropped here? 6.2, huh? High, traded through. Yeah. Respected the breaker and then dropped. Nice. I need to get methodical. I get so wound up, like I'm like, anyway, so what time is it? Oh, it's 2 o'clock. All right. So we've dropped a lot in the morning and we started to come back up and we're below the halfway point. So I don't know, is this worth something to go back up? I don't know. I find that Friday afternoons can either be really great or really shit, if you ask me. So this should be a balanced price range. What are we looking at here? Oh, wow. 1, 2, oh, that's balanced. This one isn't. So I'm just curious to see. This Bissy right here. And trusting my analysis, that's a thing that I need to also, because if I trusted my analysis earlier, when I first started this video, I would have taken the first trade where I mentioned, oh, there's the fair value gap, and that's what I need to get over. Because sometimes, oh, and this, just noting this SIBI that it's respecting. Okay, it's 2 o'clock. What's the plan? Approximately. Okay, so let's see. We're below this range, so we could continue back up after dropping and take that out. I mean, the overall is bullish, but it's Friday, and it's the afternoon, so who the heck knows? All right, so my preference, it's what time is it? So we have this fair value gap, we have this here. The question is, will it hold? Let's see. And again, does it follow process? Something I need to keep in my head constantly, right? Where is the midnight open? Wait for a 15-minute sweep. Or a lot of this stuff is also, what's what I'm looking for? Like liquidity runs, right? Liquidity grab before it continues in a direction, right? So if I was going to do anything, and sometimes I wonder, so for example, if I want to go short, I would like to do it above this line. Simple. Let's make that like purple or something because it's a little ominous. Like the color, let's make it blue or something. Let's go with purple. Something less like stress inducing, I think. Let's just change that to purple. Okay. So if I'm going to go short, I want to do it above this space. So my preference would be for them to come up here and take some of the stuff out. It's feeling very busy. So reminders, where is the midnight open? It's above me right now. Wait for the 15-minute sweep, if that's a thing. Has it already happened? Enter, stop below or above FVG, as is appropriate. All right. So I probably wouldn't have done any after. I don't trade afternoons, but all right, let's see what 2 o'clock gives us. Whoa. All right. Just dropped. Nice. All right. So in terms of silver bullets, this could be one where it just disrespected it. I should get comfortable with the idea that potentially it will just hang out here and continue dropping, right? Something like that. Let's stop up there. But I have to measure everything. They disrespected that. Like it was just like bah. So just have to wait and see. Right? So I have to wait and see because I don't trust it. So like this now, since they disrespected that, this is a potential entry right here, I think. But again, they're looking like they really want to continue downward. So let's say I were to take this, right? Approximately. It's like running into a headwind, but and the fact that they disrespected this fair value gap once makes me feel relatively comfortable. And this is the thinking that I need to remember when I'm doing this, right? This is the thinking. This is what I need to remember every single time I take a trade. Now, the fact that they ran away from the halfway point, this was the opportunity to like get an entry up here. This is like 130-ish, whatever. So now, having gotten in, I'm 425 up, I would move my stop because I've already made some money. I'm not interested in losing anything. So, okay. And now I'm thinking this fair value gap should hold things down because it has no respect for it at all. But if we make a little structure here, we take this low out. Okay. So I'm expecting this. There it is. So then at this point, I move my stop above here because they're expecting it. And I'm just going to write it down as far as it'll go. It's like that's the low right there. And I would have just taken that and been done. Cool. This is what, because the only reason why I would take the trade here is because it's shown me that it wants to continue lower. It's disrespected this. It didn't stop. It didn't pause. It didn't think about it. It blew through it. And then I need to trust my 0.79 entry when I see that happening. I've seen that it's worked over and over again, and I've just been so distrustful of price action. And I need to remember every trade is a risk. Setup, follow your setup, set the limit order, and wait. And like I said, I wanted to see we're below the midnight opening price. Where is it? The halfway point. As I said before, if it had swept these highs and this up here and then given me displacement, then I would have taken that. But what did they do instead? They showed a willingness to continue down, disrespected this fair value gap that I was thinking maybe they might want to like hang out in. and then came back up to the 0.79 of this and then dropped. Nice. So I would have made a decent amount for the day. I don't trade the after Friday afternoons. Because I mean it's so hard. Look at that in comparison to this. This was a lot cleaner in the morning. Anyway, let's clean this up. And let's go see what chopped me up yesterday. Sigh. So this Thursday, I was looking for a long. If you can imagine, looking for a long. And I just did stupid things. All right, so let's get back to here we are. Okay. So looking for a long. It's 9:30. Open. What have we swept? What's that? That's a 15-minute low right there. Huh? It didn't drop. There we go. So we had some sell side here and here. So sometimes you see them bust through the internal one to jump into this one. Something I was looking at was this 15-minute fair value gap, which this BISI, which they were respecting wholeheartedly. So I was looking for a long. So let's drop down. What time is it? Okay. So looking for a long. Now here's the fun part that really messed with me. Oh, before I do that, let's something, and then to take this out, right? For some buy side. And so we had that, and then we had all of this juiciness to dig into up top. Right? So I was expecting them to dig into that nicely. Into that sippy, that 15-minute sippy. So I was expecting them to dig into that. So I was expecting it to go much higher. All right. So 9:30 happened. So here's the part that really, again, was a bad play for me. So I was looking at it, and because of the timing, I didn't take it, right? I was thinking to myself, huh, we swept all of this, nice. We ran up, and technically, it's not pretty, but it is a shift, right? So I looked at it, I was like, ooh, that's a nice long from right here. And it's a nice run up to go this way or something like that, right? Maybe even to the midpoint of that. I don't know. I haven't like fibbed it out, right? So let's see. So I was thinking that. But bare minimum, I was really just expecting them to run those highs out. Maybe 200 ticks or something. I don't know. Whatever. So I saw that and I was like, cool. If it comes back and taps it, I take it. But guess what? It ran. I mean, it was immediate, beautiful, done. Look at that. Just beautiful, right? So I was like, oh man. So I was thinking in my head that I missed it, right? That I missed the opportunity. So I was like, okay, so we're waiting for 10 o'clock to come. And look, they absolutely ran and absolutely went to the midpoint of that. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. So I was thinking, so now 10 o'clock's coming in. I was thinking they'll disrespect that, maybe come down to here, something like that. So I'm thinking to myself, oops, something, I got rid of it. Approximating, let's see, like that. So I was thinking to myself, I should get an entry right here, approximately. And wait for them to run out the rest of this fair value gap, right? So what did I do instead? waited. I'm not sure if I measured that right the same way I did yesterday because I was looking for. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's right here. Right. So I should have taken the entry here, but I have this thing about waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and I didn't. Because look at the reaction, right? Went up, came back down, and tap back in again. So I was getting still waiting. Didn't take it out, right? Hung out. I was getting chopped up in this area right here, just chopped up, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like my brain just kept doing stupid things. And watching it like tap in here and things gonna run. And then it took the high out again, and then it just sort of dropped, and then it came back down one more time. So I should have bought it there. It hit it one more time. Barely any drawdown. And then it just ran. Look at that. Beautiful. Just running. But my silly self, if I'm being completely honest, once it tapped here, I would have taken it here and been happy because let's be honest, that's already more 300. Like this first entry was like the play for me, right? The second one was incidental and out just barely outside of the window. But it's been very chop chop, right? Anyway, let's flatten that. The point is the entry should have been here when it tapped in here. And I would have taken that and been happy. Just take out the high. That's 301. That's already plenty. But no, I was in here like hemming and hawing, hemming and hawing, hemming and hawing, getting chopped up. And then here, getting right before 11 o'clock. And just blowing up I didn't blow the account. It's like a $1,500 loss or something, but oh, what is going on? Ow. There's something in my eye. But the entry that I specced out, that I was waiting for, came and played out beautifully and gave a second opportunity and I think ran even more. And I just didn't look at the charts again after that. It was pretty shit, if I'm being honest. It was pretty shit. But I had two opportunities that morning, two, to make a decent amount. And I was too scared to take the first one and too scared to set a limit order for the second. But that's what keeps happening, right? I keep doing that and I keep pressing and all this wicking. Oh man, I don't know what happened. My eyes like juice and trying to get it all nice and dry. Anyway, so I'm trying to spend time now to remind myself that your setups are good. They're really good. And when you see the movement that you're looking for, because hold on, I forgot something, didn't I? Where is midnight opening price? We were beautifully, so my bias was bullish. So right here, midnight opening price, right there. Look how far above it we are. So after seeing that, I was thinking, okay, we're bullish. So whatever happens, we just going up. That's what happened. Look at this. I just need to remember to be, that's what I'm looking for. I just need to trust the setup. Be okay with winning or losing. Because I mean, two opportunities Thursday, two that I specced out. Two. This first one, there's no drawdown on that one. And I was thinking the halfway point. And what do? They hit the halfway point. And then what? The second one puts me at 0.79. Again, I would have been like, okay, let's just see if they take out that. Are you kidding me? Again, no, pretty much no drawdown. None. And I would have been out right there. And that would have been two trades. One where I'd already like secured a nice amount. And then a second trade where I was like, all right, well, it's in my window. Let's see. I gotta work so I'm gonna adjust my routine. We're coming up on an hour on this video. I don't want it to be super long, so I'm gonna close it out and go find some food. Ate something last night that did not agree with me. Sorry, very, very, very mean to my tum tum. So I'm having the young coconut drink here. So I was feeling very stressed and very shaky and very on Thursday when I was just but it's a business, right? It's a business. And it all comes down to one set of super simple things. And let's write it together. One, where is the midnight open? I'm gonna beat it into my brain, y'all. Let's make this big again. Where is the midnight open? Two, wait for sweep of 15-minute high or low. Wait for displacement. For enter. Stop above FEG and OB. Manage trade. That's it. That's it. That's all I need to do, right? It's all I need to do. And as I go through all of this, I'm going to put this up here because it is so, so very important. As I go through my journal and I review it, every time I've followed those steps, it's been beautiful. Every time. Every time that I do the opposite, I blow shit up. Just blow it up. Ooh. So the discipline is what I'm fighting with right now. Discipline. Discipline, patience. So I'm going to go back to my morning routine of meditating in the morning. My routine is simple. I wake up, I work out, I probably wash dishes, clean up the kitchen, feed Jojo, feed the kid. But I haven't been meditating. And the other thing I'm going to be doing is these videos Saturday and Sunday in the mornings. I'm going to do an hour of backtesting every single weekend because I need to keep hammering into myself. This is what will work for you. Follow it. Just follow it. That's all. Done. So this is me trying to recalibrate because this is a business. We're trying to make money, okay? It's not a game. It's not gambling. Trying to make money. And I feel like I've been gambling for the last 5 weeks with like small smatterings of actually just, I don't know, following the process. I didn't spend all of 2023 learning how to do this to evolve into retail. And that's what I feel like right now. Straight up. But anyway, I think that's gonna be it for me. And this is all I'm gonna do. It works. It works. Where is the midnight open? Wait for a sweep of a 50-minute higher low. Wait for displacement. Enter. Stop above the FVG and OB if there is one. Give yourself a little room because I like to wick through it. Manage the trade. So that's it. That's it. It's like I spent a lot of time last year working through different levels of stress and hurdles that I had to get over to make this work, and this is just another one of those. Okay, well, be safe, enjoy the weekend. Take care, out.